We've got Hafiz Arofa in P4. Next to him, the returning Pirapong Louis Bumpem, 14 one for all, and 1XOX TKKR's Shafiq Rasul.
We'll keep an eye on the men in green. Gupita Krishna will keep an eye on him as well. On the Yamaha, former champion, two-time former champion. Izzat Zaidi from Cardinals Factory Racing Team on the Yamaha is in P8, bike number 98. And Dimas Juli Akmoko, who was very, very fast this morning in warm-up on bike 202, is in P9.
Yes, indeed. And on row 4, Ahmad Fazrul Sham, number 11 in P10. Next to him, John Emerson in Guito, and in P12 on the grid, number 222, Fahmi Bassam.
Wawanwelo, who was leading the championship race, is in P2 at the moment, 3 points behind Nazrul Izzat. He starts in P13 alongside Hazik Hamdan and Hazik Fairuz. Tell you what, that's a very, very tasty row for 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, moving on to row 6, we've got Nguyen Antoine from Honda Racing Vietnam, Cheryl Shazras for Extremo Yuzi next to him, and in P18 Izam Iqmal for SCK Honda.
Row 7, Pacharagon from SCK Honda Racing Team alongside Team One for All's Pascon Sanwang and Arash Kamarudin from Cardinals Factory Racing Team.
And completing the 23 bike lineup, Nguyen Putri, and next to him Giancarlo Maurizio, another very fast rider, a long way down on the grid for UMA Racing Philippines.
Giancarlo got himself up near the front towards the latter stages yesterday, so even though you're starting down in 23 in this 10-lap race on a 3.5+ kilometer circuit, there's plenty of opportunity to get yourself back up into the leading groups as the safety cars go round. Out into the countryside, that's a deceptively steep downward trajectory, and then that's little right-hander overtaking opportunity, certainly on the bigger bikes there.
Oh, and that's why Fazli is out. He's only able to watch the race through one eye. Get well soon, my friend. Yeah, hopefully we'll be talking to him a little later.
Ahmad Fazli Shams in the pits, but his brother's out there on the circuit. Yesterday, the race went right the way down to the wire. It went right the way down to the final chicane, the drag up the hill, and who was able, I mean, it was kind of a peloton move out from the back from Nazrul Izzat Bahoudin to take the win from Wayu Aji Trilaksana. Gupita Krishna coming in P3. Murabil, fastest in qualifying, had a very, very, very good weekend, but could only get P4 yesterday, Murabil.
Yeah, he did. He was, in the end, half a second behind the winning bike of Nazrul Izzat.
That shows the gradient. I know I'm making a lot of it, but it makes a big impact. If you can get a toe up that hill, just as you get to the white line, you can just peep out, accelerate away. And with the torque on the back wheel, just go down that deceptively long straight. You're midway down the straight before you reach the finish line. It is a deceptively long run into the finish line.
Yeah, I think it's well designed, because it does give a chance for slipstreaming to determine the results. They're nearly ready.
Front row, Murabil, Nazrul Izzat Bahoudin, the man of the moment for UMA Racing, and Wayu Aji Trilaksana. They're 1, 2, 3 from right to left. 10 laps of the circuit, red lights, top left. They go on, and when they are going off, we are underway, and it's a fast start from Murabil Vitoni. He's taken Wayu Aji Trilaksana with him. That's a good start from Murabil, but then sneaking out was Nazrul Izzat. And it's an identical start to yesterday. The green 1XOX TKR Racing riders come through, Hafiz Arofa and Shafiq Rasul. So they're in the mix. Nice conditions, so they come down the hill, then this left-hander taken up to the highest point on the circuit, and everybody cleanly through.
Yeah, they cleanly away and into this technical section, this first sector of the circuit.
Love that drone shot. Gives you a lovely idea of the height that they are getting into this high point. So Wayu Aji, there's the 1XOX green down this long hill. Wayu Aji still in that leading group, as is Murabil Vitoni.
Yeah, and of course the two today, green bikes, 1XOX TKKR, Shafiq Rasol and Hafisa Rofa in there.
And Pirapong Luboingpeng's in that little group as well. Bike 14, just at the tail there, the blue and red livery on the bike, the white racing suit. So early stages, but even in these early stages, you've got this little pack of, what is it, 8, just pulling away from everybody else.
It looks like it at the moment, although sometimes they do, again, peloton style, haul in the front runners.
As they hit the chicane, yeah, everybody comes together a little bit closer once you hit the chicane. And as we come up the hill, Izzat Zaidi is trying to lead that second group. But after lap 1 of 10, there's our first example of what the pull can do to you. And this time, it's Waiwaji Trilaksana who was done yesterday. He says, okay, that's how you race this Sugo circuit. He gets the better of Murabil, Shafiq Rasol and Hafiz Arufa in 3 and 4. Pirapong Gupita, Fazrul Sham, John Emerson Ngito, Dimash Julie and Wawan Wello. They are the 1 through 10.
Yeah, a new engine on that bike of Pirapong, the blue and orange number 14.
I think we can go down to Yulina. She's in the pits, and well, we will be hoping to go down to Yulina just to get some thoughts down from the pits. In the meantime, Waiwaji Trilaksana is just nicely sorted.
Yeah, another rider looking confident.
And now let's go down to Yulina. She is in place. Let's just get some thoughts from the pits.
The Underbone 150 riders should be on their second lap at this very moment, but Ahmad Fazli Sham is right here in his pit from the 1XOX TKKR team. Baik Fazli, jadi boleh Fazli ceritakan dengan kita orang apakah yang terjadi pada Fazli dan kenapa Fazli nampak seperti Lanon?
Okey, sebenarnya pada semalam race 1 pada last lap, last corner saya mengalami crash high set menyebabkan saya mengalami hentakan di kepala. So bila pergi doktor cek kepala, so saya mengalami masalah visual saya jadi double vision. So doktor tak benarkan saya race lah pada hari ni sebab view saya tu ada 2 double. So saya nampak sekarang ada 2 ni.
Nampak 2 saya sekarang Okey, baik. Jadi walaupun dengan kecederaan ini, kecederaan yang Fazli ada sekarang, Fazli rasa Fazli mampu tak untuk sambung terus berlumba di Mandalika?
Saya rasa untuk perlumbaan seterusnya di Mandalika, saya rasa saya masih boleh perform lagi sebab doktor dah beritahu hanya 2 minggu saja saya punya problem. So untuk Mandalika nanti insyaAllah saya memang boleh perform lah.
Right, so he says that he should be ready for Mandalika and he hopes that he recovers quite quickly. Thank you so much, Fazli.
Tapi sedikit panas lah, tak dapat race untuk race 2.
Oh, but he's really angry that he can't race for race 2. So that's what he said. Thank you so much, Fazli. Let's get back to the Underbone 150.
Okay.
And he's also experiencing double vision from the injury that he has.
We are back talking over each other. So Fazli Sham missing the race. The rest of us have been seeing Waiwaji Trilaksana tried to learn desperately from yesterday. Gupita Krishna, bike 23, also in there, and this is looking like a proper underbone race. There's plenty of dueling going on, people testing out conditions, best places to overtake, how best to attack on the line, and Waiwaji clearly seems to have learned his lessons from yesterday.
Yeah, while we were with Fazli in the pits, Waiwaji won another drag race up the hill. He's dropped down again a little now as Gupita Krishna took over.
There is Gupita, leads into the chicane.
Yeah, he just squeezed that P3 yesterday by 1,000th of a second. Gupita, very popular P3 it was as well. Big fan club he seems to have brought with him from Indonesia.
Well, there is the drag that you get up the hill. And you can just see there that Gupita was leading, but then he's just swallowed up by 1, 2, 3, 4 racers go past him, including Wawan Wello and our pal Nazrul Izzat-Bahudin. There you go.
Yeah, 1 lap ago, Nazrul was down in 11th.
And he's chasing up the back-to-back-to-back wins, 3 in a row, which in Underbone is really quite a remarkable achievement because the bikes themselves, they're pretty much equally matched.
Yeah, there's only so much you can tune these bikes. It's a fine balance between power, torque and reliability. There's Hazik Farouz.
Najul Izzat pushes up the hill. 98 Izzat Zaidi is well worth keeping an eye on as well. He's more than capable, as are all the UMA Racing riders. We've got 8 riders within 0.3 of a second. Then beyond that, we've got another 6 who are less than a second down on them. So there's a whole knot of racers who are more than capable here. Najul Izzat pushes through, and bike 17, right at the back of that little pack, is Hazik Farouz.
Yeah, what a great shot of this underbone race. It really shows you what this class is all about. The top, 15 riders so close together.
And it's not a procession. There's dueling going on at the front, in the middle, at the back, battling for position. Best entry point into this chicane. And once again, Gupita Krishna, although we got a little bump in the back there from Wayu Ajitrilaksana.
Yeah, it's constant. And that's John Emerson Nguito worked his way towards the front then. He's going to try and do the drag race up the hill, but he has got Najul Izzat alongside him, trying to outdo him.
And
again.
guess who wins it?
Well, is there anything they can do to stop him? A little wobble there. There must have been some contact with John Emerson Nguito, the number 22. Pirapong goes into the lead.
Very interesting, because
that
Pirapong,
downhill braking.
he took a completely different line up the hill. Pirapong Luboinpeng, he took the right-hand side as we were looking, rather than the left-hand side, which has been the traditional way. So maybe we've got a new way of boiling an egg.
Maybe we have. Wayu Aji is after him.
So Pirapong Luboinpeng started off in P5. Useful racer, first race of the season for Pirapong.
Dimas Juliat Moko, he's among that leading group as well. He disappointed a little yesterday.
I'm loving this. Everybody's trying it out. It's almost like they're looking at the circuit for the first time. And Pirapong is caught up downhill by Najul Izzat and Wayu Ajitrilaksana, 60 and 87. They're bound to be there or thereabouts come the race's end. At the back end, we've got two riders down.
Well, I think that might be Shafiq Rasol on the right there. I'm not sure who the other rider is.
And Shafiq looks like he's hurt, but the marshals are out there very, very quickly. The race goes on.
With Wayu Aji at the front. Yeah, one rider not moving.
So one rider's okay, and request for help for the other. It could well be Shafiq Rasol. I think you're right. Meanwhile, we are coming towards the midway point of this 10-lap race. We'll get an update on that crash just as soon as we can. Fastest lap of the race goes to Hazik Farouz, a 1:46.138. But look who leads up at the top of the hill.
And look who's going past on the downhill run as well. Pirapong once again. And he's got, I think that's John Emerson Nguito going around the outside of him. That's so difficult on that downhill stretch. The skill of these riders is phenomenal. That was Gupita Krishna taking the lead there.
Gupita has the lead.
Oh, that's Murabil out. Sorry,
Oh, no.
it's the wild card. We jumped too soon then.
The LFN got us going, so that's the end of not a great week, but Murabil is there. You could see him in P5. So Murabil is still part of this equation.
Currently 2 4S1M Yamahas at the front, and the fastest lap for Giancarlo Maurizio, who started dead last.
There is Pirapong Luboinpeng, just peeps out from the corner. But it's Wayu Ajitrilaksana, again takes that tight line into that right-hand corner. We're in the second half of this race.
He's got a very determined looking Murabil just behind him.
Less than a second between 1 and 8, but less than 1.8 seconds between 1 and 13.
Yeah, and the Uma bike at the front there is that of Hazik Farouz. Oh, and there's a faller there! And hit by another
out.
bike. Oh.
2 going out, and
I think the speed was too good. Both riders.
So 27 is Giancarlo Maurizio. Giancarlo is out. He just posted a really fast lap time as riders are still coming through. Up at the front, Gupita Krishna and Najul Izzat once again have a reprise of yesterday's finish, and Pirapong again takes that very, very different line. It was Dimas who was the other racer involved in that crash going into the chicane.
Yeah, more disappointment for Dimas, but Murabil back at the front now. Oh, sorry, that is Pirapong Luibunpeng at the front.
Yeah, Pirapong Luibunpeng has got himself, tell you what, he's done this really, really nicely. 17 also making a move is Hazik Fairuz. He's tested one or two things, and there's been a bit of a break. That crash on the chicane has opened a bit of a gap for the first 8 racers.
Yep, you can see it there. Behind them is the 1XOX TKKR bike of Hafisa Rofa, who you'd normally expect to be among the very front runners. On the inside there goes Nazarul Izzat into the chicane and nipping up, sorry, not the chicane, nipping up inside him.
Great dueling, great dueling.
Yeah.
And we've got another 3.5 laps of this to go. And it's still a toss-up. It's all a case of what position you get yourself in going into the chicane and what kind of a drive you can get out going up the hill.
But the riders looking consistently good are Murabil and Nazarul. Pirapong has been consistently good.
There is Nazarul, yesterday's race winner, chasing 3 in a row as he comes up the hill, but this time he's not that close. And that's an interesting one. So Pirapong is frequently there. Nazarul Izzat is just behind Wayu Ajitrilaksana, and Nazarul takes the lead. But that time, Barry, very interestingly, he was just a little bit off the pace, and that meant he didn't get the drag up the hill.
Yeah, you've got to get the exit from the chicane right. We see more attrition in this race than we did yesterday.
Shafi Grassal is out, Juan Wello out, Giancarlo Mauricio out, Fahmi Bassam out, Dimas Juli Akmo out. So 5.
Yeah, and Hafisa Rofa has done well to catch up this leading group.
Yeah, he has.
On the number 24 green machine of 1XOX TKKR.
Wayu Aji leads the way. Pirapong Luibunpeng is nicely tucked in, and keep a look at John Emerson Ngito, number 22. He's just in P5 at the moment. This right-hander seems to sort out the position that you go down the hill, and it just seems to sort out who has the best race into the chicane corner. Still, it's
right, and
Wayu Aji leading the way.
And Murabil threatening as well, but Hazik Fairuz is out as well.
That's
looks like a mechanical problem for him.
He was going well, Hazik Fairuz. Uma Racing Yamaha out of the race, so another casualty, and his teammate looks over his shoulder. That is Nazarul Izzat. He's got no teammate support this time. And it'll be 2 laps to go at the end of this sprint for the line. And Wayu Ajitrilaksana, well, yesterday we saw Nazarul Izzat was constantly timing it right. Today it looks like Wayu Aji is just trying exactly the same game, Barry Russell.
It does. I think he's outplaying Nazarul slightly. I mean, they're both doing really well with this, but Nazarul's timing, he passed the other riders just after the finish line.
Murabil Vitoni in the blue and orange livery in P3. He's nicely placed as well. He's had a really good weekend. P4 yesterday, fastest in qualifying. He'd love to get a podium to make it a really good weekend to remember. And also, Izzat Zaidi's got into that leading group.
Yeah, there are some potential winners here, some proven winners here, like Izzat, like Hafisa Rofa in this group that we haven't spoken so much about during this race.
Izzat Zaidi, bike number 98 in the blue at the back. Hafisa Rofa in the green takes a different line coming down the hill, but Kupita Krejna and Nazarul Izzat Bahoud in very tight around that right-hander. Fast part of the course here, a little bit downhill. Just leaning into the camber, and Wayu Ajitrilaksana is still the man able to take the lead as Hazik Fairuz looks very, very disconsolate. Izzat Zaidi trails. Fastest lap still belongs to Giancarlo Mauricio, but he is out of the race. Now then, have a look at 14. Pertarungan Boinpeng. He's in P2 at the moment. Let's see the line that he takes. Oh, this time he's just followed the same line. And Nazrul Izzat tries to just take a slightly different line, but Wayu Ajitrilaksana, he's doing his calculations, and they seem to be working well going into the final lap. Wayu Aji leads.
I'll tell you what, Nazrul wasn't able to do anything about Pertarungan that time around.
Yeah, interesting.
Pertarungan does look like that engine's performing absolutely at the peak.
Hafisa Rofa's team looking very, very uncomfortable. But Hafisa Rofa in the green is nicely placed in P5.
And Fazrul is out, the number 11 for JRT pits bike. One way, that's his race run.
Not a good day for the family. Not a good day.
But we are on the final lap with 7 riders.
Look at Hafisa Rofa, Barry. Look at Hafisa, the man in green. He's got himself up into P2. Murabil is leading there as well. And what's happened to Wayu Ajitrilaksana? He's wobbling just a little bit. He's having to battle Wayu Aji. Izzat Zaidi takes a different line. Hafisa Rofa goes through. Izam Ikmal has made a move to the front. Oh, this is fabulous. This is fabulous.
This will sort out the order.
A slight mistake. 71, Izam Ikmal timed his run. Right then, into the chicane for the final time. Murabil goes in first. Big crash. Hafisa Rofa is out. Hafisa is out. Murabil has got a drag up the race, and Murabil Vitoni is looking in really good nick. Will he be caught? The chase is on. It's a different line. It's a long way up that hill as they come through the sprint for the line. The battle is on. And would you believe Nazrul has lost it on the line to John Emerson Ngito. Ngito, Gupita, Nazrul Izzat, Murabil, Izam, Pertarungan Boinpeng, Izzat Zaidi, Wayu Ajitrilaksana fell at the bottom of the hill. So John Emerson Ngito, for the very, very first time in the race, led in the last 50 metres of the race, Barry Russell.
Phenomenal race there is the sad sight of the 1XOX TKKR Yamaha of Hafisa Rofa lying in the middle of the track. Hugs all around. This is great. We know how many Filipino fans are watching. Enjoy this moment, guys. I'm going to go to the podium.
Absolutely fabulous scenes for John Emerson Ngito. We really, really hadn't called him, but coming up the hill in that real battle, he made it. John Emerson Ngito takes the victory. What a performance. His best position so far this season, a P8. Now he puts a P1 onto his name. In the most thrilling of races, Underbone always delivers. So Hafisa is out. We saw that as the marshals just wait for the guys to get picked up. And they so wanted to be involved in that sprint for the line, but it wasn't to be. Riders all over this Sugo circuit. Giancarlo Maurizio, he was out. Warren Wello out. Fahmi Bassam out. Shafiq Rasal out. But the race result is under investigation. Just in case we wanted any more drama. But at the moment, it's John Emerson Ngito ahead of Gupita Krejna, who's picked up his second pole, and Nazrul Izzat Bahoudin gets another podium finish. But as you can see, bottom left, race direction, the race result is under investigation. Riders being pillioned in from all corners of this phenomenal circuit. A simply phenomenal race. Right then, photo finish I think tells you that Nazrul Izzat just got ahead of Gurpita Krishna for P2, but that's just looking at our cameras. We are waiting for the official race result, but John Emerson Gito I think is confirmed as winner. Really was carnage out there, just carnage. Let's have a look at the photo finish at the end. John Emerson Ngito, he gets the win. Blurry though it is, he gets the win. Nazrul Izzat has been promoted up to P2. Oh no, Gurpita, wow, lots. Look at the official results. Is it Gurpita who's got the win? Yeah, the win, as John Emerson Ngito is in the podium, but it's P3. P3 for John Emerson Ngito. So the official race result had Ngito. Gosh, this'll take some working out. The photo finish right at the end. So the result is under investigation still. John Emerson Ngito. These are unofficial results. I'll need to confirm these. Emerson Ngito picks up the victory from Nazrul Izzat in P2 and Gurpita Krishna in 3. Murabil 4 from Izam Akmal. Pirapong Luboinpeng, Izzat Zaidi and Antoine picking up a P8 for John Emerson Ngito. A previous best this season, a P8. So this is his best result ever in Asia Road Racing Championship. P9 Charles Shazras Pertarungan in 10th for SCK Honda. Pascom for Team One for All in 11. Arash Kamarudin for Cardinals Factory Racing Team in 12. Wayu Aji Trilaksana, 24 seconds, picked up his bike and got up to the top of the hill for 13. Hazik Hamdan 14 and Kutri, the last of the point scorers in P15, 1 minute down. Hafiza crashed. Ahmed Fazrul Sham out. Hazik Farouz out. Dimash Juli Atmoko out. Fahmi Bassam out. Giancarlo Maurizio fastest lap but out. Warren Wello, championship leader coming into this weekend, also out, as was Shafiq Rassol. So this course has really been very grueling for the Underbone 150cc racers. It looks so peaceful and serene, but on the circuit, wow. Highlights of an incident-packed Underbone 150cc race. On pole position was Murabil Bitoni. He got off to a very fast start. He was P4 yesterday, but soon overtaken by Wayu Aji Trilaksana and Pirapong Luboinpeng. Wayu Aji Trilaksana bike 60, followed by the green liveries of the 1XOX racers. And this chicane we knew would be a really difficult problem for the Underbone racers coming into the latter stages, because it's just such a tight finish, and then you've got the big race up the hill. And for lap after lap, Wayu Aji Trilaksana, bike number 60, just tried to time it superbly, just tried to make sure that he wouldn't get the disappointment of yesterday. In the meantime, bikes were going out left, right and center behind him. Hazik Farouz was making a real charge. Giancarlo Maurizio would set a fastest lap, but there's the first of the real incidents. Ooh, ouch. And that took out Giancarlo. With 3 laps to go, the attrition rate was getting to be pretty high, but Wayu Aji was still holding on there in front alongside 157 Murabil. Engine problems for Haziq Fairuz, so he went out to the occasion. Murabil Vitoni onto the final lap. He was leading coming up the top of the hill. This is the final lap, but we always thought that this steep hill, you just can't accelerate away, and John Emerson Ngito is closing, and then you've got that long race for the line. Wayu Ajichulaksana is there, then John Emerson Ngito comes forward, and he, with a late surge, came from P4 to take P1, and that's why there is so much delight in the Filipino team garage. Nazrul Izzat picks up a third podium in a row. 2 wins and a second. And a first underbone win. First underbone podium for John Emerson Ngito. And he'll need help to put the Philippines flag back on his shoulder. But I would imagine it'll be an emotional rendition of the Philippine national anthem when it comes. Wow, what a day. What a race.
And now, please stand for the national anthem of the Philippines.
それでは優勝ライダーの国歌演奏です。
He'll be making news in the Philippines newspapers tomorrow. And imagine the online replays of that victory are already being spread across Philippine social media. Stefan Maki Karapie, the FIM Asia president, will be handing out the prizes. In P3, Gupita Krishna, again eased out. That's 3 P3s in his last 4 races for Gupita Krishna. P2, Nazrul Izzat Bahaudin, the new championship leader. No, he'll retain his championship lead. And look at this, a big Filipino hug from Stefan to John Emerson Ngito. Sheer delight. Winner, John Emerson Ngito for S1M Evo Yamaha racing team. Left it late, he left it to the last 50 meters before coming from P4 to take it. Wataru Endo, the general manager of Sugo International Racing Course, hands the trophy to a very, very happy team manager from the Evo Yamaha racing team. Great job, great delight, great scenes, great race. Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia. It's always good to get new winners on the podium. It means new headlines, it means more publicity for this wonderful series, the Asia Road Racing Championships and this Underbone 150. Week after week, race after race, year after year, always produces sensational racing. And if you didn't enjoy the race you have just seen, wow, there is no hope. Settling things down a little bit, Nazrul Izzat Bahaudin, 91 points. Look at that, a 19-point lead from Murabil Vitoni, who had 2 P2s this weekend for LFN Putra 969 Racing Team. 3 points behind him.